This is a total recap of Cobra Kai seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, giving you everything you need to know heading into the series' 6th and final season. Cobra Kai is a continuation of the classic 1980s Karate Kid movie series, where in the original film we saw Daniel LaRusso and his bully Johnny go toe-to-toe in a karate competition. 30 years later, Daniel has done quite well for himself and now owns several car dealerships. Johnny, on the other hand, has had a pretty rough life following that defeat all those years ago. Johnny witnesses a kid named Miguel getting beat up, and when the fight gets a little too close to Johnny's car, Johnny steps in and uses his karate skills to take down the bullies.
What's the matter? Having trouble breathing?
So Miguel insists that Johnny teach him the ways of karate, and Johnny is then inspired to relaunch Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai being the dojo that Johnny once belonged to, and their motto is strike first, strike hard, no mercy. So the big thing about this show is that it echoes themes from the original, but everything is flipped. Daniel was once the nerdy kid being picked on by bullies at Cobra Kai, but now he's this big successful car dealership owner. Johnny, on the other hand, used to be a bully, but after having a rough life post-high school, he's training a kid like Miguel, who isn't the coolest kid in school, and Johnny is now teaching Miguel to defend himself from bullies. Johnny, in his own way, is trying to redeem Cobra Kai, but really redeem himself.
Right now, all I want to do is make sure my students don't make the same mistakes that we did.
So Miguel has a crush on a popular girl at school named Sam, who is actually the daughter of the Karate Kid himself, Daniel LaRusso. Sam has joined the popular crowd, and her old friend Asia, who feels left out, has joined the newly formed Cobra Kai. Sam, however, is not a bully like the new kids that she's been hanging out with, so she breaks away from that group. And after this viral video, Cobra Kai gets lots of new recruits.
Looks like we're in business.
When LaRusso gets wind of the return of Cobra Kai, he confronts Johnny.
You and I, we aren't done.
Now, Johnny has a son named Robbie, but Johnny wasn't the best dad, and Robbie has become a bit of a troublemaker. Robbie gets a job at LaRusso's car dealership, where he becomes friends with LaRusso. LaRusso even teaches Robbie the peaceful method of karate that he learned from Mr. Miyagi.
Wax on, wax off.
Back with Miguel, he just asked out Sam, and she said yes. And then Johnny and LaRusso surprisingly bond, albeit briefly. That all comes to a halt when Johnny discovers that LaRusso has been training his son.
I got to tell you, you're not the only one around here with a student. I have a student of my own.
And then comes the return of the All-Valley Karate Tournament, the same tournament from the original movie where LaRusso defeated Johnny. Miguel, in typical Cobra Kai fashion, is showing zero mercy for his opponents. Miguel wins by fighting dirty, and Johnny is ashamed of his brutal teachings. That same night, Johnny's old sensei, Kreese, arrives at New Cobra Kai. Kreese is the Cobra Kai sensei from the original movies that taught Johnny these same dirty fighting moves.
Hey, hey! You lose concentration of fighting your dead meat.
Johnny despises Kreese for how he treated him as a kid. Kreese says he wants to make things right, so Johnny lets him join Cobra Kai as assistant sensei. LaRusso then starts up his own dojo, which he names after his teacher, Mr. Miyagi. And we meet the new member of the team, Tori, who ends up dating Miguel.
Sensei said to go all in and make a move, and I'm still trying to figure out what that means.
I think it means exactly what it sounds like. Make a move.
Now, Robbie's mom has left town and he needs somewhere to stay, so LaRusso lets him stay with him. A Cobra Kai student, Hawk, breaks in and vandalizes Miyagi Dojo, and he even steals Mr. Miyagi's Medal of Honor that he left to LaRusso. Meanwhile, Kreese's influence of dirty fighting has infiltrated Cobra Kai, and Johnny isn't having it.
It's not how I taught you to fight. It's what Sensei Kreese taught us.
Miguel apologizes to Sam for all that's been going on with the rift between Cobra Kai and Miyagi Dojo. Sam accepts the apology, but she's a little drunk and they kiss, and his new girlfriend Tori sees it happen.
I saw what you did at the party. You kissed Miguel.
Miguel and Robbie then go toe-to-toe in a brutal brawl. Robbie kicks Miguel and he goes flying off of this balcony. Miguel survives, but he is really banged up and may never walk again. And Cobra Kai, now being led by Kreese, blames Johnny for Miguel's injuries because they feel that he should have trained Miguel to show no mercy. the Cobra Kai way. Johnny, however, feels great guilt for what happened to Miguel, and he helps him learn to walk again. Kreese continues his mission to restore Cobra Kai to its dark tactics from the past, with Tori and Hawk helping along the way. Robbie, too, joins Cobra Kai, because he is not on good terms with his father Johnny or his former sensei LaRusso. Johnny decides to start up a new karate studio, taking on Miguel once again as his first student. Johnny's new group, Eagle Fang, partner with the Miyagis to take on Cobra Kai. During an attack by Cobra Kai, we see Sam and Tori have a rematch where Sam comes out on top, and Hawk turns back to the light.
Look, man, I'm sorry. For all of it.
LaRusso and Johnny together go to confront Kreese, and I gotta say, it was so cool getting to see these two work together all these years later against the true villain of the Karate Kid. Kreese strikes a deal with Johnny and LaRusso. He'll resign his role at Cobra Kai if they lose the next tournament. So Johnny and LaRusso put their differences aside and merge their dojos to defeat Cobra Kai once and for all. And then enters Terry Silver, the baddie from Karate Kid 3.
It's blood. So what? Make believe it's his.
Miguel and Johnny's relationship becomes strained, and that worsens when Johnny starts dating Miguel's mom, Carmen. Johnny and LaRusso engage in a match to decide who shall be lead sensei. They tie and decide that a partnership isn't in the cards. Miguel decides to remain with Johnny while the others stay loyal to LaRusso. And then we're back at the All Valley Tournament, where Eagle Fang, Miyagi Dojo, and Cobra Kai compete. Hawk, who is now going by Eli after the Cobra Kai's shaved off his mohawk, he goes toe-to-toe with Robbie, and Hawk wins. Tori and Sam then have their rematch, and even Kreese is put off with how far Tori has taken the dirty fighting techniques. Tori does win the match, and Cobra Kai wins the tournament. But Tori then discovers that Silver bribed the referee.
No one suspects a thing. The money will be in your account tomorrow morning.
So LaRusso's son, Anthony, apologizes to this kid, Kenny Payne, for being mean to him earlier in this season. But Kenny attacks him in response. Robbie feels responsible for this and like he is a failure, and he tells his father as much.
When I saw him today, I realized I screwed everything up.
Kreese is later arrested after being framed by Silver for an attack on a kid named Stingray. LaRusso then turns to Chosen, the villain from Karate Kid 2, for help in defeating Cobra Kai.
But will you help me finally put an end to Cobra Kai?
LaRusso does close down his dojo in accordance with his deal that the loser of the tournament would shut down. We then get the return of Karate Kid 3's Mike Barnes.
Get on that line! Get on that line, LaRusso!
Barnes was a former rival of LaRusso, but he agrees to help take down Cobra Kai. Silver continues to make Daniel and his allies' life absolute hell. He burns down Mike's furniture store, and he messes with LaRusso's personal life so much that his wife ends up moving out. And who does she stay with? Well, none other than Karate Kid 3's Jessica Andrews, which turns out to be her cousin.
You sure you want to come to dinner?
Nah, you and your cousin should catch up.
Silver helps Stingray get a nice new apartment as part of an effort to stay quiet about him being the one that actually beat him up and then framed Kreese for doing so. Meanwhile, Tori is working undercover for Kreese to help bring down Cobra Kai. And of course, the Robbie-Miguel rivalry is still at large. Johnny is disheartened by his son and his pupil going to war, especially because he just found out that they're about to be a family. Miguel's mom is pregnant with Johnny's son, a baby who will be a sibling to both Miguel and Robbie. But these two soon-to-be brothers are able to finally talk out their differences, and the fighting stops. A young Devin Lee has become Silver's favorite Cobra Kai student, and Silver has plans to take Cobra Kai international.
We have to share his style with the world.
With Sam's well-fought victory, a returning Miyagi-Do enters the tournament alongside Cobra Kai. And we see Tori and Sam finally talk out their issues and do away with their rivalry. Johnny and Mike, former Karate Kid villains, break into Silver's house and take him on once and for all. But all of Silver's Cobra Kai students are living there too.
Oh, fellas, I don't think this is going to turn out the way you thought it would.
We see Chosen and Silver then go toe-to-toe, and Chosen is winning until, of course, Silver, in the typical Cobra Kai fashion, cheats.
Do it.
Evidence of Cobra Kai cheating in the tournaments is leaked, and all of the Cobra Kai students find out that their wins have been a lie. And then we get the karate smackdown we've been waiting for, LaRusso v. Silver. Stingray tells the truth, and Silver is arrested. And as for Kreese, well,
I'm begging you.
For what? Mercy.
And that was a quick total recap of Cobra Kai seasons 1 through 5. I've been your host, Colton Ogburn, and I'll see you on the next Total Recap.
What about the guy you lobotomized? Did he get a refund? I have to hand it to you. It's the best mindfuck yet.